Hello，大家晚上好，欢迎来到园林区直播间。我是今晚的主持人 Justin。那很高兴呢，在周三的晚上又可以和大家见面了。今晚呢是我们 Web3 Infinity Hackathon 的特别活动，VC Talk 的第2期直播。Good evening, guys. I'm your host Justin. Welcome to the live stream of Force Web3 community. So excited to meet you here at Wednesday night. Today is our special event of Web3 Infinity Hackathon, the second session of VC Talks. 那 VC Talks 呢？那顾名思义，也就是由 Web3生态系统中的 VC 来介绍投资 Web3的方式和他们喜欢的项目类别。那也是我们基于黑客松来给大家选择的一个特别的课程安排。VC Talks is a special program that will feature VCs in the Web3 ecosystem about the way to invest in Web3 and the category of projects that they prefer. It is also based on the fact that we will witness the birth of new crypto startups at the hackathon, and it is crucial for new projects to have funding and resources from investors. 那首先呢，我还是要来介绍一下我们的 Web3 Infinity Hackathon，因为它作为新加坡峰会的最强周边赛事呢，目前我们已经汇集了上百人的报名参赛。截止到目前呢，也有已经近400人已经报名了我们的黑客松项目。那在这里呢，我也鼓励大家如果对我们的黑客松感兴趣的话呢，就不要犹豫，向我们投递你的作品。目前的话，我们的报名通道早就于7月1日就已经开放了，并且呢，会在北京时间8月17日的23:45前截止报名。想要参赛的团队呢，都可以通过我们的 DevPost 平台提交符合要求的项目。Firstly, please allow me to introduce the Web3 Infinity Hackathon to you guys. As a crucial sub-event to FIL-Singapore Summit, we've already received hundreds of applications for this hackathon, and the number is still growing up. By far, it has almost received 400 applicants for this event. So please don't hesitate to submit your project through DevPost before August 7th. The registration portal has already been opened on July the 1st, so all of those qualified projects are welcome to join us. 好的，那接下来呢，我们话不多说，就回归到我们今天的主题。那由我来为大家隆重的介绍一下本次的嘉宾，是来自 Longhash Ventures 的 Head of Platform Stefano Burry 先生。那作为 Longhash 的风投团队，其使命呢是切实促进下一代 Web3 项目的发展。Longhash Venture 团队呢，不仅为深入 Web3 团队的项目和社区提供重要的参考，更对外输出了一些 Web3 模型以及最前沿的行业热点文字。Without further ado, let's get back to our topic tonight. Please allow me to introduce Stefano Burrell, the head of platform from Longhash Ventures. Longhash Ventures is a Web3 investment fund and accelerator collaborating with founders to build their Web3 model and navigate the Asian crypto landscape, empowering founders to build Web3. 那接下来呢，就让 Mr. Burry 开始今天的课程。Now, let's give the floor to Mr. Burry and start off tonight's sharing lesson.
Hi, everyone. This is Stefano Burry. I'm the head of platform at Longhash Ventures. I'm super excited to be here today for a second time for the Web3 Infinity Hackathon to share a little bit more about our firm and a little bit more about what we do as a venture capital firm in the Web3 space. So maybe let me start with a bit of an intro to Longhash Ventures. So we were founded 5 years ago as Asia's first Web3 accelerator, and our accelerator is still a core part of our business. We have been conducting various cohorts over the past 5 years. We have so far conducted 7 cohorts, accelerated over 50 projects, and helped those projects raise over $150 million in fundraising. Now, in addition to the accelerator, we are also one of the leading Web3 venture capital firms in Asia. And we launched our first fund just about a year ago. It was a early stage DeFi-focused fund. And we're currently fundraising for our second fund, which is going to be a broader Web3 focused fund, investing from pre-seed all the way to Series A. We do deploy capital through both of those channels. So we do invest in teams that are coming through our accelerator, Typically, those are very early stage teams with a strong team and a strong conceptual idea. And we are typically the first check that those projects get before they start their official fundraising journey. And then separately, we also deploy capital outside of the accelerator directly into Web3 startups across all the major verticals of Web3, including DeFi, NFT and culture, DAO and social, tooling and infrastructure, and gamify and metaverse. And we so far have just over 70 companies in our portfolio across those verticals. I wanted to share a little bit more about our investment thesis, what are the type of projects that we are particularly excited about, share some examples of some recent investments that we've made that are very strongly tied to our thesis, and then share a little bit also about our value add as an investor. So our overarching thesis as an investor since the beginning of our firm 5 years ago is that we are strong believers in a multi-chain future. This is one of the guiding principles that led us to be early investors in the Polkadot ecosystem, and also being partners with Polkadot to launch their first global accelerator program. And it is also one of the guiding principles that led us to, establish what is now a very fruitful partnership with Protocol Labs to run Filecoin cohorts of our accelerator program. And as a matter of fact, in about 1.5 weeks' time, we are going to be kicking off the third cohort of the Filecoin accelerator in partnership with Protocol Labs, which we hope will be the third one of many more accelerator programs for the Filecoin ecosystem that we will support in the future. So having said that, given that our sort of our North Star is our belief in that multi-chain future, what does that mean then in terms of, in a very practical sense as an investor? So overall, we particularly like projects that will enable that multi-chain future. So we like, the type of projects that are building, all types of infrastructure or tooling that is going to enable that multi-chain future. Now, of course, that doesn't preclude us from making investments into particular verticals of Web3 that I mentioned that might be today building on one or maybe more than one chain, but that might also have that potential in the future to be multi-chain. And at the same time, we also particularly like the type of projects that build infrastructure or middleware that are going to power a lot of the use cases we see today around DeFi, around NFTs, around gaming, and around the metaverse. In addition to the vertical or the use case type of focus that we look for, of course, we particularly like very strong technical teams. We also believe that, as an investor, one of our value adds is, very much around some of the Web3 native topics like tokenomics design, decentralized governance, community building, as well as some other, business building type of topics like, go-to-market, product strategy, etc. And so we think that we can bring a lot of value to these early stage strong technical teams. Now, I also wanted to share a little bit about some of the examples of the recent investments that we have made, so that you also have a bit of a better idea of the type of projects and type of use cases that we like to invest in. I'll start sharing a few that are the type of projects we've invested through our VC fund, but I will also share some of the ones that we've invested in through our accelerator program. So let me start first with the fund. Three of the projects we've invested in recently include Gnosis Safe, which is now known as Safe, Saga, as well as CoinShift. And I think, first of all, of course, Safe probably needs no introduction. I think that most people who are in the Web3 space, it should almost be like a household name. But the thesis behind that investment is, of course, we are strong believers in all the various type of toolings that they build, that enable effectively DAO operations. Then the next one is Saga. So Saga is building what effectively could be seen as a layer zero a chain as a service protocol that would enable anybody who wants to, build their own app chain, particularly in the gaming side, and wants to focus, purely on the gaming development. Saga then can effectively provide and spin up a chain or an app chain, for them as a service that they provide. And then last one is CoinShift. So CoinShift is effectively, treasury management for DAOs, which is something that is, a very crucial part of the tooling required for DAOs to be able to operate effectively. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of an idea of the type of projects that we invest in, and the type of projects specifically that our VC arm has been investing in over the past sort of 6 months or so. Now, I wanted to share a couple of examples of investments that we have made of teams that have actually come through our accelerator. So the first one is Lit Protocol. The second one is Lighthouse. So Lit Protocol is building a decentralized access control network. And so what this means is that they are effectively building, a tool that allows anyone to provide token gated access to all type of tooling, and especially including Web2 tooling that DAOs or any type of organization would use. So for example, you could say, okay, if you are a member of, a DAO, for example, and you have a particular NFT or a set of tokens, those on-chain conditions can give you access to, let's say, a token-gated a file on Google Drive, a token-gated Zoom meeting, or even a token-gated, e-commerce shopfront that might be exclusive for, a certain NFT holders, to give you an example. And the network is entirely decentralized. And so, Lit Protocol actually came through our previous Filecoin cohort, and they've been gaining incredible traction since they graduated from our program. The second project I wanted to talk about is Lighthouse, and Lighthouse is actually a very interesting example that we also like to use and showcase of some of the support we provide the teams that come through our accelerator program and that we provide as an investor. But in short, what Lighthouse enables is one-time payment perma storage on Filecoin. And so they're sort of solving for two things. One, the fact that you only have to pay once, and they basically work in the back end, to sort of maintain, those payments going forward. But you as a user of this storage, you only need to worry about it one time, and then you can basically forget about it. But then, of course, the second one is the perma storage, right? So that you know that whatever you decide to store through Lighthouse will be stored forever. And the reason why it's an interesting example is because we actually worked very closely with Nandit, who was the solo founder at the time, to help him really crystallize the idea that he had in mind. And as he went through our program, one of the value adds we provided as an investor was really helping him to refine, what was that use case that he was going to be focusing on and build as a business. Now, that is probably a great segue to share a little bit about our value add as an investor. And so I think when you when you become one of the projects that we invest in, you become part of the Longhash Ventures family and network. And whether that would be through the accelerator or whether that is through the fund, there is obviously a few benefits that you get. So first of all, you become part of our network. And what does that mean? Well, it means, number one, that we will make introduction to other investors, because as you are filling up your round, or you're looking for the next fundraising round, you'll obviously be looking for strategic investors that can provide different types of value add. And so we have a very strong network of Web2 and Web3 investors that we can introduce and that can provide value to you beyond what we can do. I think also, more importantly, being part of the network is that you also are in our one of our portfolio founders, and we also make introductions to all the other founders that are leading the portfolio companies in our network. And I think that's quite exciting, because this is when we see a lot of projects coming to us and saying, "Hey, I like this particular portfolio company that you have. I would love to talk to them for partnerships. I would love to talk to them for integrations. I'd love to talk to them potentially for customers. So there's a lot of opportunities for you to meet some of these Web3 founders of other leading Web3 protocols. For all these things I mentioned above, and of course, in addition to that, we do provide some venture building value add as an investor to our portfolio companies. We have advised various protocols on tokenomics design. Basically reviewing what are their ideas. Providing some innovative input, and then of course providing feedback on some of the models that we are seeing taking place across all the various Web3 verticals. We've also been working closely with some of the portfolio companies on product strategy and design. So really, being like a problem-solving sounding partner or sounding board thought partner, to really, help founders and provide feedback and advice on, product features, product strategy in terms of like go-to-market, product design in terms of, features and type of customers they want to target, and so on and so forth. And then another example is on governance. So we, just to give an example, we work very closely with Balancer, the AMM, which is in one of our portfolio companies, on their decentralized governance approach. So they came to us, they asked for advice on how should they actually decentralize running of the protocol. And we did basically three things. One is we convened a roundtable of some leading DeFi founders as well as Web3 investors to share their perspective on decentralization. We also wrote a blueprint on how to think about decentralizing. And lastly, we also participated actively as an investor in their governance process, in their forums, and put forward a proposal for VE-BAL, which is basically the precursor to decentralization of the Balancer governance. So hopefully this gives you a bit of an idea of what we do as an investor. And we love to work closely with founders, as a thought partner, as a sounding board, and really help them to be successful in their Web3 entrepreneurial journey. So I will wrap it up there. Again, I want to thank you so much for inviting me today, and specifically thanks to the Web3 Infinity Hackathon for having me over for a second time. If you have any questions, specific to what you're building, if you have any questions, about Long Hash Ventures as a firm or as our accelerator, program, please feel free to reach out to us. Probably the best way is via Twitter. So you can find us at LongHashVC, or you can reach out to me directly at ZeroExpiry on Twitter. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
好的我们这边也非常感谢 Mr. Burry 给我们带来一场非常精彩的分享啊。那其实呢，也涵盖了非常多的一个信息和内容。那从刚刚 Mr. Burry 的一个分享当中呢，我们其实可以了解到非常多的信息，像 Long Hash 团队近期的一些成功的投资案例，以及说他们背后的一些投资理念，可以提供给我们参考和学习。那其中呢，他也提到了 Long Hash 目前是有两大类的一个投资形式，一个呢是 Investment Fund， 另一大类呢就是孵化和加速器了。他们注重 Web3 生态的一个发展，同时呢，也对于一个多链并存的一个未来呢，是有一个很大的期许的。所以如果说是一些初创团队在非常早期拥有非常强的一些技术能力，那或者说他的团队和项目对未来的一个多链的未来的存在有一个赋能的作用，他们都会引起他们的一个关注，并且会非常感兴趣来投资。那其他的呢，其实他还有提到了一些非常具体的公司，我们这边也可以简单的和观众朋友们去进行一个反馈。那例如说从 Investment Fund 走出来的 Saga， 它是一个基于 Layer Zero 的注重游戏领域的一个链服务的项目。那他还提到另一家公司呢，叫做 CoinShift， 那则是帮助DAO组织开发财富管理方面的一个工具。那所有的这些他有提到的一些项目呢，其实在Long Hash Ventures 的一个官网上，它都可以看到他们的 portfolio。大家如果感兴趣呢，也可以点击进入他们的网站，具体看看 portfolio 有哪些项目。Well, thanks so much, Mr. Burry, for giving us such a wonderful sharing lesson. Mr. Burry shared with some of the Longhash team's successful investment recently and their investment philosophy behind the scenes. He also mentioned that they currently have two types of investment tracks. One is investment fund and the other is accelerator. They focus on the development of the Web3 ecosystem and also have great expectations for future where multi-chains coexist. For example, Saga, a chain service project based on Layer 0 that focuses on the gaming sector, and CoinShift, a game company that helps DAO organizations develop tools for wealth management, also came out of the investment fund. So for those teams, which is at the early stage, but it has sophisticated technological support, or those promising projects that might empower a multi-chain future, will especially attract the attention from Longhash Ventures. So these are also the message that Longhash Ventures, that Stefano Burry, the message that Mr. Burry want to send to us. 那另一方面呢，从孵化加速器走出的 Lit Protocol 也是他们近期比较成功的投资之一啊，它也非常津津乐道这个，经常会向其他的一些资方或者说项目方去推荐这一个项目。那 Lit Protocol 呢是一个开放网络上 Web3 应用程序和私有数据的一个去中心化访问控制的项目。那任何的公司、创建者或者是 DAO 都可以使用 Lit Protocol， 以令牌、NFT 和区块链身份来作为密钥，来授权对内容、软件和数据的访问权限。而 Lighthouse 则是另一个他提到的一个项目，是从他加速器中孵化出来的一个项目，它是提供一次性的付款、永久存储服务的项目，获得了 VC 的融资。那其实对于项目和团队的发展都有极大的好处。那除了拥有现金流可以拿来投入开发，那 VC 团队呢也会倾注自身的资源来协助项目的发展，并会给项目去介绍一些其他的投资人和项目方。所以呢，这也是我们邀请 VC 来给大家分享的一个原因之一。那希望通过我们的一系列的活动呢，也可以让 Web3 领域内顶尖的 VC 可以和观众朋友们去面对面。希望呢这样的形式也可以给观众朋友们带来一些新的启发。那对于一些已经报名参加我们黑客松的团队，或者说目前处于这样创业或者说开发阶段的朋友们呢，也是可以带来一定的启示。And what also coming out of the accelerator is Lit Protocol. They're another recent successful investment. It's a decentralized access control for Web3 apps and private data on the open web, where companies, creators, and DAOs can use Lit Protocol to grant access to content, software, and data using tokens, NFTs, and blockchain identity as keys. Lighthouse, on the other hand, is a project that offers a one-time payment for perpetual storage services on Filecoin network. So getting VC funding is extremely beneficial to the development of the project and the team. In addition to having cash flow to invest in development, the VC team will also pour their own resources into the project to assist in its development and will introduce the project to other investors too. So this is one of the biggest reasons why we invite VCs to share with you. We hope that through our series of events, those top VCs in the Web3 industry will come face to face with the audience and bring some new inspirations to you guys. 那对于想要重新学习一遍，或者说错过了本次直播的朋友们呢，那也不用担心，我们所有的中英双语对应的教程直播课，那都会上传到原绿区的 B 站和 Force Web3 Community 的 YouTube 频道。那以供大家学习和参考。For those who want to watch it again or fail to attend in time, don't worry. All of our live stream will be uploaded to our Bilibili and YouTube channel, respectively in Chinese and English. Make sure you check them out. 那到这边呢，其实我们的分享呢也差不多接近尾声了。那我在这边也再次鼓励大家来报名参加我们的 Web3 Infinity Hackathon， 分享丰厚的$10万加的丰厚奖励。那同时也希望朋友们持续关注我们原力区频道，我们的下一次直播呢是在本周五晚上的6点，同一时间，那我们不见不散。That's all for today. I'd like to once again encourage you guys to sign up for a Web3 Infinity Hackathon and share the huge prize of over $100,000. So meanwhile, don't forget to tune in to our live stream channel. Our next live broadcast will be at the same time this Friday. So see you guys at 6 p.m. this Friday. Bye.